How's it going, everybody? Happy Thursday. This is Third Rail Thursday, and I'm Go Vera Go Home. We're a little bit earlier tonight. We're 7 o'clock. Typically, we do the 8 o'clock show. That's okay. I'll probably be changing to more of a 7 o'clock time frame anyways going forward, but we'll talk about more about that in a little bit. I've got a bunch of things to talk about, a bunch of things to show you guys as well. So we will do that. But first, I want to say hi to everybody. Lots of people did show up. You know how we do. It'll say I'm live at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but really it's just get you prepared. Just get you prepared for 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, whichever, you know. So Dave Hughes gets the Timbits. They're nice and fresh. Brian Ferguson, how's it going? Welcome everybody, welcome. And Dundas Junction Model Railroad, hello. And Mike H.O. Trains, welcome. The 2 o'clock show was great. Yeah, it was really quick. If you blinked, you missed it. That's how quick it was. And we've got Ronald Rondeau. How's it going, Ronald? I'm surprised that my scroll bar is working today. This is great. Okay, so good. Semi-last CP Heritage. Everybody's off to that new military unit that just came out from Athearn too. And of course the Bowser SD40-2. Hello. Welcome everybody. Welcome Anthony. How's it going? Sparky 107. Good day to you, sir. Hello. Freddie, how's it going? Cup of Burr, what's going on? Hello. And who was it? Pine Valley. How's it going, Pine Valley? Welcome. I've been enjoying your videos lately. I'm gonna single you out, Pine Valley. I've been enjoying your videos. The whole rework of the basement there and the layout. Very cool. Derek Alexander, how's it going? And Anthony Dodge in the Model Train Outsider. I was just going to call him the Model Train Outsider, but then I'm like, no, I know what his real name is. I don't know everybody's real name, but when I do, I'll let you know. So this is Third Rail Thursday. I was saying that to you earlier. I've got a couple of friends that I want you to meet, and you can only see them the first and third week of Thursday, or the first Thursday and the third Thursday of every month. Wow, I've already messed up. You can tell that this is like scripted. Hey Chris, how's it going? And Todd, how's it going, Todd? Yeah. The first Thursday of every month, we've got N-Scale Dystopia. If you enjoy N-Scale stuff and dystopian stuff, then you should go check them out. And I'm here. This is the second Thursday of the month. We're already there. It's December and it's the second week. That's crazy. And the third week, Mr. M&M Rails. Go check him out next week. And then, of course, collectively, we come back at the end of the month sometimes, and we do GVO After Dark, which we usually have some sort of topic, railroad-related stuff. We share some stuff. We talk about the month, kind of like an overall recap of everything. It's fun. I love those guys. They're great. So tonight, you're going to say, Chris, why are you not running a train? Why is there no train running? Chris, what about the trains? I came here for the trains. Well, the number one rule when it comes to your layout is that you have to love your layout. And when you have an issue, or if you're not happy with it, then you get something like this. And it's almost like starting over but it's not starting over. It's just taking a part of it apart and making it better. I'll call it making it better because that's what I'm going to do here. And this is where I got to. This was like last weekend's project. So I had basically stripped this whole thing and I moved the base of it, which was the original base of the Helix, and I moved it over towards the camera. And basically I'm adding onto it to the far end, and I'm kind of taking a different approach this time around. Heath, how's it going? Brad, how's it going? Welcome everybody, welcome. And basically, so for this whole section here, I'm kind of taking a different approach. One thing I've always wanted, and one thing that I really wanted with this this whole layout here, was a place to store my passenger equipment, and then of course, you know, multiple industries. And if you guys have ever ran HO scale passenger equipment, you know that at least 4 cars is about 4 or 5 feet if you're including the locomotive. So to have a section here that's straight, you know, it's kind of weird because a lot of it is curved. There's always a curved section, and then I've already got a yard, so I don't really want to put it there. I've got a station there, so right in the middle, it's gonna come out a little bit. It's gonna be a station that's gonna be stub end. It's gonna, you know, come right back. I think it's gonna house about 4 tracks, and then yeah, you'll have a raised city section just behind it. That'll be more or less a backdrop. But I want to keep the reach to about 2.5 to 3 feet. And that was a huge issue when I had the ethanol plant there. It was okay, but the opposite side of this, it was pretty far. It was like 4 or 5 feet. So I'm eventually going to be putting like a fake wall. It's going to be a square, and it's going to basically act as a backdrop in the very center. Kind of like if you have modules, and the modules are making like, you know, a circle. So all the modules would have backdrops, unless it's Freemo, of course. And then you'd have a scene on forward facing on all 4 sides of the square. And that's basically what I'm going to be doing here. So on the side that you're looking at right now, right around this circle here, this double track main line, because the double track main line is going to go around this whole thing. On the front area here, I'm going to be able to fit like maybe 2 or 3 industries that are just accessible by branch line. You know, drop off, pickup, maybe a tank car, box car, something like that. And then in behind it, connected almost to it, is going to be a downtown, which is going to include the station. And kind of like how N-Scale Dystopia has his station right above the platforms, that's something that I've wanted to do as well. And if you remember, if you're an OG, if you have been watching since like one of my first layouts, you'll remember that I actually attempted to take 2 Union Station kits and make 1 giant Union Station. Yeah, so, and then I wanted it right above, I think I had about 8 tracks and 4 platforms, something like that. I don't know, that's way back. That's like 11 years ago back. So I kind of want to relive that a little bit here and add in some storage for my passenger equipment. And then at the same time, add a bit more going around where, you know, you have an industry on the back side. I want to add a bridge for the, you know, the train to go over the bridge because I really miss that. Every layout needs a bridge, right? So, but it's still in the very early stages here. I'm still doing a lot of planning, and at the same time, I don't want to do too much because I know inevitably that I'm going to probably move someday. So hopefully I can just get trains going again here, do this as a giant reverse loop section, and add a couple of industries and a station, and of course, get back to running the trains. And I did that all in a weekend. It's a lot easier to take it apart than it is to put it together, except for where you have cork and you're trying to find the screw that holds everything together. That was the only issue I had. But I did save all my switches, which is great. So at some point here, while I'm talking to you and whatnot, I'm going to be, fixing these and kind of see what needs to be done and prep them, because they're going back. I already know where all of them are going to go, more or less. And I'll be able to just make the small changes that I need to do to build it back up again. These are the things that we do. These are the things that we go through, trying to make our layouts, a little bit better, right? Yeah, let's get started with that, because I've got a lot to do. And so obviously you'll see I've got a number of switches here. Some of them are, like this one's new. I haven't even used this one yet, so I just made a pile. I've got like a double throw over there. Okay. So one thing that I wanted to talk to you guys tonight about, for those of you who did see that I put out a survey asking about doing a live show in the new year for kit builds again. I really enjoy doing the kit builds, and I've had a lot of feedback from viewers, people who enjoyed watching and joining in on them when I used to do it at my old house. I said one day I would get back into it, and 2026 looks like that time. So that's something that I've decided, and with my new job, I finally kind of have an idea of how my schedule looks as far as, going forward. Unless they call me into the office. If I have to go back and start working full time at the office, that might change things, but we'll see. We'll find out. So the survey the other day that I did was more or less asking, what would you guys prefer? What would you be more interested in? A Saturday Night Live, or a Sunday Night Live, where do kit builds and all that stuff, and the majority ruled. And turns out Saturday would probably be the best night to do these lives where I'm doing these kit builds and whatnot. And it's something that I've thought about for a while, but I think going forward in 2026, it's something that is very, very doable. It's achievable. Deep Run, how's it going? Eminem Rails, how's it going? Welcome, guys. If I missed anybody, hello. hello. There's a pop-up on my screen. No thanks. Okay. So, what I'll be doing, starting January 10th, which is Saturday, I will be doing a kit build. I haven't really thought of a name yet for the whole Saturday night thing. Because you know me, I do the brunch build and third rail Thursday. I usually have some sort of clever type thing that I name it, but I haven't really come up with any yet. So we'll see. But yeah, that's the plan. So if anybody enjoys the process of kit building, or you're looking to learn a couple of things or whatever, or you just want to hang out, because I know a lot of people just like to hang out. They like to chat, or in some cases people talking about the hobby and whatnot. It's just, it makes for great background ambiance, you know? So, Saturday night, 7 o'clock. I'm going to be doing the 7 o'clock thing. That's going to carry over. And, yeah, we're going to have some fun. And I even have a kit that, well, I don't have it in my hand yet, but it's on its way. It'll be an ITLA kit. Probably the biggest wood kit I've ever built. Seeing as how I've only ever done one other one. But it's definitely bigger than that one. It's called the Tri-State Fabricators. And this kit is a monster. This past year, I saw it all together at what's it called? Springfield. The Amherst show. Because Nick from ITLA was there, and he always sets up a display. And I think that was probably when it first came out, I'm pretty sure. Hey, Kyle. Yeah, I can't call it Saturday Night Live. That would be, you know, a little bit too close to something else. But yeah, so I'll come up with something. But either way, yeah. So I'm going to start with the Tri-State Fabricator kit, and it's, like I said, it's probably one of the biggest kits that they have. And it was actually a collaboration that ITLA did with Mini Prints, because you get a bunch of mini prints in there too. Lots of detail stuff. So that'll be pretty cool to do. I believe Mike might also be getting that kit. So if he does, then he'll probably be joining me for the build. If anybody else wants to get that kit as well, let me know. I know it's not the least expensive kit on the website. Other kits are allowed, for sure. Just because I'm working on something doesn't mean, you know, others have to work on that specific one. We will eventually do a kit build again, where we all have the same kit, and we do our own versions of this one kit. But that won't be yet. I think that might end up being closer to March or April. So stay tuned for that. Hey Floyd, how's it going? But if it's something that you're interested in, then definitely we'll look into it. Because we're going to have to break it down. Because, you know, there's wood kits, there's plastic kits, you know, the DPM kits or whatever it's called. There are, whatchamacallit, you know, so there's so many different kinds of kits out there that are available. So we'll have to really narrow it down, and I'll let you guys choose. But we'll do it in like a bit of a vote system. So yeah, just stay tuned for that. Keep an eye on the channel. I'm always putting up little surveys and stuff like that for such occasions. So yeah, starting January 10th, Saturday nights, 7 p.m. Gonna do some kit building, which will be fun. I always say that building kits is like my bread and butter, because I enjoy it so much. That looks... Oh, I'm just taking these... I've got some rail joiners on here that apparently I did not solder on, so that's good. I can reuse them. I'll have to put them with the rest. I've got a little bin for that, so... I've yet to try building an ITLA kit. I have a few recommendations, if I may. I won't now, because like I can remember the name of anything, so I probably won't recommend anything right this minute. But if you want, I can let you know what I think would be really cool, because there's a couple that I've even had my eye on. Really depends on what you model, though. ITLA has new kits coming out. Yeah, they had. I don't know if it's been fully announced yet, but they had some kits that was like. You guys have seen the Merchant's Row, so if I say Merchant's Row from Walthers, you know what I'm talking about. It's like 3 or 4 stores, all stuck together, one building. They have something that's like that. But it was always a backdrop building. Now they're developing the back side of the building, and they're treating it more like an alley. So it's really cool. So you can get the front and the back, put it together, make one whole building that's standalone, or you can just get the back of the building, make it almost like an alleyway backdrop building, or do a backdrop building, but it's all the front of the building. The way they design these are really cool. So yeah, it's just like Merchant's Row, but it's better. And it's wood. And if you guys watched our last kit build, where we did some buildings, I know Sparky he got in on that too. Yeah, we what was the name of that one? Shoot, I don't remember the name of it. It's like, yeah, I've got the worst memory. It was fun. It's like right outside the office. So it's off to the side, but yeah, it's a really nice kit as well. I need to get these wires off of here. The next thing I wanted to mention, just because I'm kind of proud. It's not a brag, it's just me talking. But who saw the Rapido video the other day? Did anybody notice anything familiar? Any familiar cabooses? It was neat because Jeremy reached out from Rapido, and I've talked to him in the past. He's a good dude. He's a family man, much like myself. And he said, "Hey, we didn't get any footage of the caboose. Can I borrow some of your footage?" And naturally, I said yes, because why would I say no to that, right? But yeah, it was it made my day, Felt real good about that. Let's see, I've talked about that. Oh, guess what's coming up? Speaking of Rapido, this is a great segue into this, because Christmas Day, for the last, I don't know how many years have I been doing this? I don't know. They always do a announcement, like they put out new announcements Christmas Day, and I always look forward to it every single year. That's like my Christmas, because like my kids get the presents, but I get the email from Rapido saying this is the new announcement. So that's my Christmas. And I have a feeling it's going to be really good this year. But yeah, watch your emails for that on December 25th. Oh, hey Russ, how's it going? And Denny, how's it going? I know that caboose anywhere. Dave noticed as well. Yeah, it's one of those neat things, right? I don't know. I don't even think it was like my clips weren't even like that good, but at the same time, it's like, oh well. I got 2 of the hotel kits. Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, because they did the same thing with the hotel, where you can get the front of the hotel, you can get the back of the hotel, and you can make it into either a backdrop or an actual 3D thing, which is really cool. I don't know if... Oh, man. The hotel looks pretty cool, though. I think I always look at a kit and I'm like, can I do that? Would I be able to do that? It's so hard to say. I have no idea sometimes. Because the last wood kit I did, where we did it as a group build, it turned out better than I imagined. So, for me anyways. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. And, you know, I'm looking forward to doing the next one. There really is a huge difference between doing, you know, wood kits and plastic kits. And I'm starting to fall more in love with the whole wood kit thing. There's just not as many, you know, variations of it. So I have to kind of pick and choose, you know. That's why you'll see kits like these where, you know, yeah, who else makes paper mill? I don't know. Who else makes a steel mill? No one. So, again, you got to kind of pick and choose. I have 2 kits that I need to finish. Join the club. Well, James, save those for when we do the live show, because that way you can join and you can build while you're on the live. I've been kind of waiting for Rapido to do another run of the Amtrak F40 with a ditch lights. So here's my thought, Kyle. Now, the F40, so they did announce the Love the Way, which I'm very happy about. And they also announced the $10 bill version. Remember, like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago when I opened up my F40 and there was a $10 bill inside? That was nuts. So I kind of want to try and see if I can do that again and get another, you know, just because. I don't know. I want to see how far my luck can go. But yeah, I'm looking forward to those. But here's my thing. So if you guys watch a lot of the YouTube shorts, you know, videos from your favorite manufacturers and whatnot, you might have noticed that Jason from Rapido, he posted a video, or it was more of a short. He was sitting on a GO train, wearing a GO train shirt, and looking out the window as a GO train was going by. And the caption was, "On my way to film, you know, the Christmas announcement." So here's the thing. Now I know that they're going to do some sort of Amtrak F40 again, because why not, right? And to kind of fill out that order, because a lot of times they will do, you know, let's say 8 American road names or 8, you know, styles or whatever. I'm just putting a high number to it. And then they'll splice in some Canadian as well. That way it's a larger order. You know, the more they make, the cheaper it is, et cetera, and it all gets made at once. So they could very well do the GO Transit F40, because the GO Transit anniversary, and I want to say it's the 60 years of GO Transit. It's either the 50 or the 60. And that's coming up in 2027. So, perfect time to put out a box set. You know, an F40 with maybe some single level cars, possibly. That's my train of thought. But, you know, it's an idea. Hey, Chris, how's it going? Model train aficionado. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I hope the announcement, and they said that it's a really big announcement, and you know, I'm looking forward to it. You know, my wallet, not so much, but me personally, absolutely. You've got my undivided attention. You know, when it comes to that stuff. So that's, I'm kind of excited for that. Along with the kit building, I've kind of come to the realization that doing things by hand and, you know, spray can, it's still very limiting. So I know I've been talking about it for a while, and I do mean a while. I think at least the last 4 years or so, I've wanted to get an airbrush, and I wanted to kind of dabble with that. And I did get quite a bit of information from Denny in regards to airbrushing, so I kind of feel like I'm on a good path right now where I could, you know, attempt to do some airbrushing. And he actually showed me one on Amazon, and if I like it and whatnot, like, I'll show you when it comes in. But this is basically like, you don't need a tank. It has a tank attached to the actual I don't know what you call it, the air nozzle thingy. See, that's as much as I know about airbrushing. And then I'll share the link with you guys if you're interested. It's just to, you know, kind of get started with the airbrushing. And I really want to try it out, see if I like it. If I do, and it works for me, and it's something that I can really improve on and whatnot, then I'll probably invest in a better one in the future. But just for now, you know, I want to try it, but I don't want to spend an arm and or leg on it. So we'll see what happens. But I mostly want it so that I can do all my rails. So, you know, obviously you can see a whole bunch of stuff here. It's all in the way. But underneath that, there are train tracks and there's rails, and I want to go along and I want to paint all my rails, but I don't want to do it with a brush. I want to do it with the airbrush, right? So that's what I would like to do. That's probably what I will do. And, you know, even if it doesn't work out, I've tried it, right? Let's see, so many tiny places that the rails sit on. Yep. My first kit ever was the steel mill blast furnace. Yeah, that's, I still have mine. I don't think I finished it. I haven't found the need to finish it because it can't be placed anywhere. I was just really excited to get it. Those are challenging, for sure. The main part of it is okay. It's the stairways going up, though. That's the challenging part. FOS scale and Jason Jensen train kits are great as well, specifically for you guys up there in Canada. Yeah, I tried the FOS. I really liked it, and that one's neat as well. I had fun building that kit. It's like a utility shed. Still on my layout. And of course, there's also the possibility of doing a scratch build as well, because I really have to finish that that one building I have over there that I did a mock-up of. So that's on my list as well. So there's lots to work on, is what I'm saying. So I need the CBC version. Oh, you're talking about The one that I wanted to get that I didn't get was the Operation Lifesaver. And I think it's because it's the exact same number as the Telus one, which is in behind there. You can kind of see the bright green. It was the same number, and I'm like, I don't like having the same number. It's weird. Can't wait for the Rapido Alco. Yeah. Conrail, New Haven. I use a Grex 3mm and 5mm nozzle. Neat. Even my cheap airbrush I had as a teenager made a night and day difference on my plastic car models. Well, you know what? And I think it's another level of, you know, being able to not just paint things, but weather things. And I really enjoy weathering cars and whatnot, but I want a more realistic look. And I think that's why I'm holding off on all my ore cars, is because I want to make them look as good as possible. It's a solid unit train. You know, that's the kind of thing I take to shows. So eventually, you know, I want it to look all like fantastic, right? And it's another reason why I probably haven't touched locomotives yet. I want to learn how to weather a locomotive, but I want it to look good. I don't, you know, sure, you can get one and then you can kind of like, if you mess around with it, sure, whatever. But I want it to look really good. So we'll see what happens. I prefer painting my rail with an airbrush. Just use a small nozzle. That's fair. That's fair. Really need them to work around the kits for track planning. So, needless to say, like the hamster on the wheel has been going full throttle the last month or so, and I've been thinking of all these things that I want to do and all the things that I want to accomplish, and I want to do it. I don't want to talk about it. I want to actually do it, and that's, you know, that's where I'm at. I feel like 2025 was such a write-off of a year that 2026, I mean, 2026 can't fail me because 2025 is such a write-off. Hey John, how's it going? I am fixing some tracks here, some switches. I had to snip these right off the layout. And that's another reason why I like using white glue, because it came off pretty clean. I'd have to sand down my my cork, of course, but it is what it is. Another thing I'd like to do come 2026 is go back to doing the regular layout updates. I always found that unless I'm actually doing something that requires me to tell you this is what the update is, I can't add a tree to the layout and then do a full video about this one little tree that I've added to my whole layout and how amazing it makes my whole layout look. I can't do that. I gotta show progression. That's just how I am. So I want to get back to doing that and show actual progression with what I'm doing and the build, right? Like I can show you this and be like, yeah, I did stuff. It, you know, it's not much to look at, but I did do stuff. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. It's just, it's not that appealing, right? So that's why I'm going to wait, but I'm going to do some work and get some work done on the actual layout itself. And then I'll be able to share that. Save up for a good one, Chris. No sense buying a better one later on. Well, see, here's the thing, right? Like, I want to try it, but I don't want to go full on if I don't like it, right? So I don't mind. And if it's just a handheld one, then it's easier to traverse the layout anyways. And even if if I'm doing rails or whatever, that's fine. It's not too much of a big deal. And I think it's like $30, or it's less than $30. So I just want to try it just to say I tried it. And when I start getting a little bit better, kind of like when you're a kid, right? You start with crayons, so you don't pull out the the fancy pencil crayons and whatnot. When you're little, you start with the crayons. You practice staying inside the lines. Then you move up, maybe some magic markers, as long as you're not coloring on furniture, But yeah. And there might be other people too that are like, well, I've kind of wanted to try it, but I'm worried about investing that much, because you can get like a pretty good airbrush. I think Denny said a really good one for a complete set would be like $300. That's a locomotive, you know what I mean? So I want to make sure that if I'm spending $300 on an airbrush set, that I'm actually going to use it, and that it's not going to sit there and not get used, Yeah, when I do get it, I'll share the link for the Amazon one that I was shown. Do, 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 do. So many things to talk about. We only do this once a month, so I save up all my conversation pieces for this occasion. I'm also finally getting some hoodies made. I know that there was some people had requested shirts or whatever, but the route that I want to take is kind of like purely Canadian. So they're made in Canada and printed in Canada and whatnot. There's this company that's right by me, and they're a small business, but they did this one for me, right? And I've had this thing for almost a year, and I've had no deterioration of the image. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's clean. And like, I wear this thing a lot and it gets washed a lot. So I wanted to make sure that if I'm selling a product or something, that it's going to last. And you kind of have to stand behind that stuff. A lot of people will just say, okay, well, here's a hoodie, buy. Not always the case, right? Because you don't want to buy a hoodie and then it falls apart on you. It's not a good quality. The picture falls off. And that very thing happened when Brandon, or Bubs, he bought one of my sweaters from, I want to say it was Teesprings. Because a lot of people were doing the whole Teespring thing years ago. And he said that the picture started to peel off. And I was mad. I was so mad. I'm like, why is it impossible for them to make a good, hoodie or shirt or whatever where the picture stays on? So I was kind of cheesed about that. So I wanted to make sure that if I'm going to say, hey, do you want to buy this hoodie or do you want to buy this shirt, that you're not buying it. And then 2-3 weeks later, you're like, Chris, it's kind of garbage. you know? So, yeah, I wanted to test it out and make sure that it was good before it goes into production or whatever. So, I'll probably do some. I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe I can do like a cheesy kind of commercial or something for it, just to let you guys know that they are available. And if anybody wants one, you just gotta let me know. But yeah, I think I'll do that still, regardless of me telling you, because I'm always looking for new video ideas anyway. So. Sold my pancake compressor. I have a compressor, but it's one of those big tanks, and it's for like you know you would normally do like the air gun for, you know, whatever they're called, the air staple gun things. So that's a little big and it's really noisy. It's more industrial than anything, but I want to get a smaller one, like, you know, just for like beside my desk here, right? Something that doesn't make too much noise. That's another reason why I wanted to get the little one, because I doubt that they're very noisy. Yours is the size of a soccer ball. Yeah, even like, what's a pancake compressor? I have no idea. See, I'm still learning all this stuff, right? Like I don't know all the ins and outs and whatnot, but I want to learn because I think it's essential, especially in this hobby. It just makes everything look better. And also, I can't use aerosol down here. It'll waft upstairs, and for those who are like smell sensitive, right? Like my wife gets like really bad headaches when I do that. So, you know, happy wife, happy life, right? So I can't use aerosols in the house. And it's winter, so don't know if you know this, but doing aerosol outside, it'll freeze the paint, sometimes within seconds, and it doesn't dry proper. So can't do that either. Now here's a question for you guys. As far as airbrush paint, I was seeing a lot of these kits, again, starter kits and all that, for Vallejo. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, Vallejo. Would you guys use Vallejo paint in your airbrush? Because they do have the airbrush style. I think it's already like thinned down quite a bit. I'm just looking for ideas. You guys, probably some of you know more than I do as far as airbrushing. So I'm always looking to know what everybody's good with. So, I mean, I would try Vallejo because I've got this stuff here, and I love it. It's the FX wash, and I've also got some Weathering FX as well. And I really enjoy Vallejo. They're really cool. So when I found out that I could get that kind of paint for an airbrush, I was like, nice. FGLK Paul, how's it going? I just finished a full custom painted Loco with Vallejo paint. It's great. Okay. Craft paint. I mean, you'd have to thin the craft paint down quite a bit though, right? Make sure you add a water and oil separator on the air compressor. Okay. Sure. Yeah. I don't know. Can you get that in a bottle? Is there such, like, you know? Like, I know you can get thinner. Okay, thin. Yeah, you can thin it down. Yeah. I know what paint thinner is. That much I know. That I know. Can you get thinner from a hobby store, or do I have to get that big metal can from, like, the Home Depot? Because I feel like that might be a pain. Tamiya. Yeah, Tamiya is another popular one. I thought Tamiya just did the rattle cans, the little rattle cans. Aren't they illegal in Canada now? Mission Model Paints. Never heard of it, but I'll take your word for it. I make my own thinner for craft paint. Well, I guess that, when you use craft paints and whatnot, it kind of opens up the door for even more colors, right? More possibilities, right? So there's that. Vallejo thins with water. Hobby stores will have airbrush paint thinner. Okay, cool. Thanks, Anthony. I don't get to go to the store a lot. The closest one to me is like 45 minutes, and I'm used to ordering everything online. But you don't really get a good look at everything. Like, James would always tell me that he would go into, Dundas and whatnot, and there's another hobby store just down the way there. Or sorry, no, he'd always go into Paris Junction or Dundas Hobby. And yeah, he gets his paints and whatnot from them. But it's like, I don't have anything like that. I've got a Michaels, but are they going to have what I'm looking for? Probably not. They might have okay substitutes, but I don't like substitutes. I like, getting the good thing, the good stuff. So I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. I figure start with a brush and maybe get like, I don't know, try a couple of, different little weathering things on maybe like a box car or something. Maybe make a rusted tank car or something like that, Just kind of try it out, try my hand on it, hand at it, not on it. That's weird. And then see what happens. Because I might like it. I might be like, oh, no, don't like it at all. I'm uncomfortable. You never know. I mean, like, people get so stuck in their ways of doing things a certain way for so long that they don't want to do anything else. And, that's one person's prerogative, right? So with me, I was using, to do my rails and to paint my ties, for the longest time I would use these. It's a paint marker, and they're by Testors. So you've got your rail brown, rail tie brown, and rust. And that's how I started doing it. I still have them because they're neat for touch-ups and whatnot. But with my old layout, the 3-level one, I was spraying in the house. Yeah, I know, right? Whatever. And I would use the camo brown, which is a very popular one to use. I know a lot of people use that. And I can definitely see why. It works really, really well. And it looks phenomenal. So, yeah. They make bottles as well as shakers. Oh, okay. That must be Testors, right? We were talking about Testors. Hey, Scott. How's it going? And Lee. Yeah. How's it going? They make bottles. Okay, yeah. That stuff is the best. I've used Tamiya paints thinned with IPA based on the same techniques that Boomer does on his channel. All right. The freight car you hate the most. Oh, I like them all, though. I don't know if I have a freight car that I hate. No, I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, like, that would be a tough one. That would be a tough one. I'd probably have to go and, you know, buy a used something from a train show. You know, that's usually what people would do. You know, go get something that's, you know, just kind of inexpensive, that if it gets wrecked, then so be it. But when I go to do something like my ore cars, I want to make sure that what I'm doing, it's, you know, really good. Because you just want the overall presentation. You want the whole train to look good. I mean, it's like 40 some odd cars long, and I've got my two SD40s pulling it. There's even the whole, you know, doing the wheels, but you got to get the ITLA has these things as well where, you know, it's like this, and then there's little holes along the face, and you put your wheel sets in there, and it protects the part that touches the rail, and then you can just spray, and it does the face of the wheels. So I want to do that with all of them as well, but you have to take them all apart, and it's a lot of work. It's, you know, that'll be one of those long-term goals, I guess, that I have. I guess I have that now. I fix motors for paint factories. James, is there anything that you haven't done? I feel like you're like the jack of all trades, you know? Dave says, my first layout, I hung all my flex track on our clothesline and painted them outside. Just had to touch up a few spots when I laid it. I mean, probably. I still can't do that anyways because of the, you know, winter's going on. So that's a big part. And, you know, most of us do all this stuff during the winter time anyways. So I'm not that far ahead of myself where I can go and get a bunch of track and then do it in the summer and then put it all together in the winter. That sounds like a really good idea. I'm not that organized. I just kind of do, you know? So that's why I want to get the airbrush. It's already down. I can go and I can just touch it up and whatnot. Mike, you only need one car. Paint it, then strip it. Doing like the custom paint jobs all together, that would be pretty neat too. I actually did. I did a couple of box cars a long time ago for Dave, for Daveco. He wanted some of the CP rail box cars that were green, so he went out. He got the decals, gave me some box cars. I found a nice green, and then I painted and decaled those. I need a spray booth. I need room for a spray booth. I'm pretty sure I can make room. But yeah, a spray booth would be kind of cool too. It's on the list, I think. I think it's on the list. Pretty sure it's on the list. Yeah, Amazon has some. Yeah, I saw those on there. I painted all my track with a palette of colors using mediums ranging from oils to acrylics, and it took me a year. My layout is only 8 feet long. I think a rattle can next time. Yeah, that was the problem that I had with these, right? When you use these, you're 1, 2, 3. You know, a section like this would take you a half hour if you're coloring one at a time. You know, at least the rails you can go, you know. But Yeah, definitely needed a better method than that. Dwight Curley, how's it going? Yeah, a spray booth is on my list. The actual spray nozzle. And then I was wondering about paints because, you know, I don't know if some paints are better than other paints. I look at it all as paint, you know. Would you use a specific paint to do weathering opposed to, you know, painting like a shell of a train or a boxcar or something? Besides color, you know, because obviously it's got to be a specific color. Dwight Curley's been a member for 32 months. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I never really promote all that stuff, but I do have members and a membership thing if you want to join. And James, ongoing for 51 months. That is crazy. I'm sending James something this month, technically. Maybe he'll unbox it on his show. Who knows? Just as a thank you. So as well as cleaning, like filing the ends of these just so that they're, you know, I can put a rail joiner on there. Also kind of fixing the ties. What I'm also doing is I'm cleaning the rails so that I can have nice clean tracks as well. Sliding these sleepers back on here. And I use Pico Code 100 because I know everyone's dying to know. Not really, but yeah. It's definitely been interesting this time around with this layout. Either you don't have enough room or you need to go bigger, and it just, the curves, when you run a very specific type of train, such as passenger, and it requires such a wide radius, you have to be very careful. Because if you don't have the space, then it's not going to work out. But that's what I'm working on. I want to make sure that everything's good, and then I can fit storage. I was also thinking of coming off the actual layout and just building a thing that's attached to it with a lift out or a lift up, something like that. But then I don't like the idea of a lift up or a lift out for myself. I've been there, and not a fan. Not a fan. Thinning the paint is the most important. Yeah, doesn't it already come like thinned out, or do I have to put it in the little cup thing and then thin it there? Because you also don't want it to come spurting out, right? Like you don't want it to, like you want it to be a steady stream of paint, right? I forgot how to do the member for the something months, but I have been one for a long time. Yes, thank you, Anthony. I believe you're like up there near James as well. Oh, there it is. Oh, you're 51 months as well? Dang. Okay. Well, thank you guys. I know I don't post as much as what I used to post, and it's it's primarily just because of work. You know, I never really did this as a job. I love my hobby, but it's not a job. I have to support my family, and that's what I have a 9 to 5 for. So, as much as I'd love to just post all day and post every single day, I can't. At least not until I retire, if that's an option. I don't even know if I'll get to retire at any point, but I'm sure at some point. Then you guys will get sick of me, because I'll be posting every day. Speaking of posting every day, have you guys been watching my short series, adding a new car to the layout every single day? I'm almost at day 200, which I think is pretty cool, because it doesn't look like there's 200. Don't tell my wife, because she probably thinks I have about a quarter of that. Yeah. Mind you, when you think about it, right? When you really, when you break it down, I've got like 40 barrel ore cars, and that's why there's, quite a few ore car videos. And then I've got about 20, it's about, I think I have 18 go cars, and about 15 LRC cars, and so it adds up, right? I don't have a lot. It just looks like there's a lot, just because of the fact that there's so many of, single cars and whatnot. But, yeah. And then, of course, I'm adding in stuff like buses and whatnot, because I love my buses. I've got a few buses, and I like to share those. They went up in price a lot. I remember when they were like $40 for a bus, and I get a lot of the iconic replicas. They're really nice, especially it's almost like a die cast, kind of like Hot Wheels, but it's detailed really, really well. Now they're like $100, and I can't justify it. That's Canadian, by the way. $100 for a bus that doesn't do anything. It doesn't light up or nothing. It's just fancy. So, yeah. Glad I got them when I did. 5mm does help with the craft paints. I've yet to use craft paint. Too thick. Since I retired, scaled back on channels I am a member of, but I have kept a few. Well, I do appreciate it. Definitely don't expect it, but I definitely appreciate it. I never wanted videos to be behind a paywall, too. I know that that's one of those things that it just seems kind of weird, right? Like, I like to share the hobby. I like to share, if I'm teaching you something, I want to teach you. Genuinely, just want to teach you. And if it's something that helps you, great. But I don't think you should have to pay for it. I'm not a teacher. Definitely not a professional. So. Leave that stuff to the professionals. I feel like I'm actually getting work done too. I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but I'm actually getting a lot of work done here. I'm off tomorrow, which is cool because I could use a weekend. But then I'm working all weekend. So, yep. So, if I'm not too busy tomorrow doing pre-Christmas Christmas things, because Christmas is right around the corner, then I'll probably be working on the layout. And I got to get this main line back up and running. It's kind of like leaving the house without a wallet. You're like, I feel so displaced right now. Like, what do I do? But everything that was on there, I managed to save it. And so I'm not short for anything. The only thing that I might need to get still is more cork. But cork isn't too bad right now. I know we go through these waves of like, oh, there's a cork shortage. Everybody run out and get cork, before you can't get any. But yeah, I think we're doing okay right now as far as cork. These must be glued pretty good. That's weird for white glue too. I'll tell you one thing I'm excited for, and that's the Via Rail charger. Bachmann just announced the other day. Now, you never really know how real these things are because of the fact that manufacturers like to say things and that they're never really on the same page as the actual shipping department. So, whether they just preemptively said, oh, yeah, the tail end cars are here. Are they in the main warehouse thing? Who knows? The only time you really ever see that is like when Rapido says, look at this shipment that just came in. This is all this locomotive or this piece of rolling stock. We are so happy and it's going out this week. That's the only time you really know. Otherwise, it's very hard to get excited when they just say, oh, it's here. I don't know. I have so much solvent-based model paint I need to use up before I use the craft paint. Yeah, I have lots of craft paint, but I want to try it with the airbrush paint just because, how thin is too thin? I don't know. How much of the, how much do you water it down without it taking away the color, and then it just looks like wet on whatever it is that you're painting. There's some things you can't really cheap out on, you know what I mean? So I don't want to cheap out on the paint just because craft paint is a lot, easier and less expensive to get. I do want to try with, I think I even might have, do I don't know where it would be even. Oh well. I have so much different stuff that I've collected over the years. Powders, inks, stuff like that. Pastels. Another thing I want to get that looks very handy is panel liner. Perry uses that. He had me pick that up for him one time when I was going to the Otter. And he showed me what you do with it, and it looks really cool because it's almost like it fills in the cracks of, you know, certain parts on the train there. I'm like, okay, yeah, that looks cool. So I'd like to pick up some panel liner as well. I had to snip the end of the rail off there because there was a bit of solder on there, and instead of, you know, trying to force a rail joiner on it, just cut the little end off, and the rail joiner should go right on there. So for most of these lives here, now I'll talk about January for a moment because it is going to be what I think is going to be a busy month, just with everything going on. So in January, the very first day of the month is Thursday. We're skipping that completely because that's New Year's Day. So I'll probably be sleeping or working, either one. And that's normally when Denny would be like the first Thursday of the month. But I said, you know, why bother? We've got like 5 Thursdays in the month, so, you know, don't feel like you have to go live that day because it's technically a holiday, right? So he had agreed, and he said that he'll go the second week. So on the 8th, yeah. So on the 8th is when Denny will go live. So you don't have to worry about New Year's Day. Am I gonna see a live, or am I gonna miss a live? No, because we won't be doing one. So, and then of course I'll follow that up with the 3rd Thursday, and then Mark will do the 4th Thursday. And then we'll even have a GVO After Dark on the 29th, which is right near the end of the month there. It's pretty cool. So it'll be somewhat normal, just not completely. Mark is going to stick to the 8 o'clock time frame. He prefers 8 o'clock. And Denny is going to keep the option open, so he's a lot better with scheduling things, unlike my system where, you know, I might be doing 2 in the afternoon for all you know. I'm not, because I never go live at 2 in the afternoon. But, yeah, so for Denny, it's probably going to be either 7 or 8 o'clock at night. For me, 7 o'clock at night, whether it's Third Rail Thursday or the new kit build series that we're doing come January 10th. And then Mark will be 8 o'clock on his week. There's a little bit of cork that's still glued to the bottom of this, so I'm taking it off here. It comes off really easily. It's kind of annoying, but again, this is why I use white glue to hold down my track, because it's super easy to clean up and reuse stuff. And it'll lay back down nice and flat once I put it back on there. See, gonna reuse it. What else is going on? Oh yeah, so yeah, when the tail end of the car, the Via set comes in, I do want to do an unboxing video of that, because I did a full-on video of the locomotive and the cars, and I talked about how not pleased I was until I made the corrections, but Bachmann said that they have made a lot of changes since then. So I want to see if they held up to that, because I let them know exactly what was going on with it. And I know a lot of people, they ended up selling theirs because it just wasn't that great right out of the box. Or they had to wait for so long just for the tail car. Like, I'm pretty sure it's been almost 2 years since I got the locomotive and venture cars. And that's a long time to wait when it should have all been delivered together. You know, or at least within a few months, I guess. I know eventually I'll do an official one, but for you guys, what do you guys think? Wood kit or plastic kit for a group build? Just if you're interested in, you know, doing a group build, would you be more inclined to join if it was a wood kit or a plastic kit? Let me know in the comments there, because I'm very interested. I'm flexible. I can go, you know, I could do either. So, but do I kind of like the wood kits more? Kind of. Sorry if that noise bothers anybody, by the way. I'm just filing the rail. I also need a new one of these. You ever see these? These are by Pico. This is an eraser that cleans the top of the rails. And I've had this thing probably for 4 years. There's, yeah. It's seen better days, let me tell you. Depends on the kit, or sorry, depends on the cost. I like that background kit. Oh, the one that we did last time? Well, yeah, I mean, like, if cost wasn't an option, then let's say if cost wasn't an option, you know, plastic kit or wood kit, what would you rather do as a group? Yeah, my wife has diabetic erythema. I can't even rhythm. Yeah, the pronunciation is going to kill me here. She cannot drive at night very well, so I show her some. Yeah, I'm right there. My wife doesn't drive at all. Chris, is this cleaning block scratch the rail? No, it almost like it buffs it. So like you know how if you're looking at the rail, I don't know if this is a good piece because I already cleaned it. Let me take a look at this one. Whoop. Sorry, these pieces are a bit longer. What's a good example? Okay, maybe I don't know if you can see this or not. Probably not. But there is, the rail's kind of dark here. It looks like it's just kind of dirty. And then I take my little buffer thing here and it removes whatever's on the top of the rail, and now it's shiny again. So it's kind of like I don't know. It's not like a Scotch-Brite or anything. This is actually made for cleaning the tracks, and it doesn't look like it scratches it. It just looks like it removes whatever's on the surface. And this is something that I've always used, but I use this in conjunction with, you ever seen the CMX cleaning car? This is good for like small jobs, but the big jobs I use the cleaning car. So that's the rubbing alcohol, or the isopropyl, whatever it's called, 99%, with the pad, and it goes around, and that is what I normally use for big jobs. But this is great for little jobs like this, where I obviously can't put a running train on this piece of track here. And it's by Pico, so I don't know if that matters. I'm pretty sure you can use this on Atlas track as well. I don't think it just stops working based off of what track you're using. But yeah, I trust it, is what I'm trying to say, because it's a Pico product. Yeah, see, it removes all that stuff that's just sitting on the top of the rail there. That, you know how when your train goes over it, the lights would flicker and all that, and you would like drop power. This takes that right off and buffs it. Gives you a clean connection. I'm going to get a cleaning pad that I use on commuters, made for polishing and cleaning. There's a bit of cork on here as well. a mess to clean up here come tomorrow. Oh well. One of the things I'll be able to do is I'll be able to build a ladder, and I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I was going to do it this way, and I was going to do 4 tracks. I was going to kind of do it like this. 1, 2, add that, and then that's 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. You have to add that on the end. Unless I do that. No, but no. But yeah, I gotta make a ladder to go into the yard thing, or for the what's it called? Train station. And then I think, yeah, I only want to do like 4 tracks for that, which is fine. This, which is just a simple crossover where there's 2 number 8s. Are they number 8s? They look like number 8s. Yeah. This is just going to get placed somewhere else. And I never take my springs out. So this will all get reused. Hi all, hard for me to type as I've had an operation on my left hand and I'm not to use it for 6 months. Jeez. Well, how are you supposed to do any modeling? That's no good. Hopefully you get better soon. That way you can get back to modeling and whatnot. Hey, Canadian Locomotive Logistics, how's it going? Just getting finished work tonight, super late night, actually sitting in the parking lot of Wendy's eating my supper. Wendy's would be so boss right now. I was having a conversation with my wife earlier because Wendy's has this thing and they always put it out it's either January or February. It's called the Portobello Mushroom Melt. And that thing is heaven on earth. And I look forward to that every year too. But yeah, so very excited about that. That's coming up. Not sponsored by Wendy's, so you know it's genuine. The only other thing that I need to do is I need to take off. I'll need my whatchamacallit to do it. But yeah, you can see I've got my little feeders on the side there that I had snipped off so that it came off the layout fairly easy. I don't know if you can actually see that or not, but all I got to do is heat that up and give it a yank with a pair of pliers, and then those will come right off. And then when I go to add new feeders, I can just do it in the place where these were, because there's already a little bit of solder on there. Technically, most of this should go together pretty easy. And I've got like so much flex track. So looking forward to getting this done. Does McDonald's do the McRib in Canada? They used to. I haven't seen the McRib in a while, though. But that Wendy's portobello mushroom melt. Oh, it's so good. Did any of you guys get the new military unit, the final one to be released by Athearn? It looks real good. I think that one's called D-Day, the newest one. I have all these big locomotives, you know, the Gevos and SD50, SD60, Jeep 40, or not Jeep 40, SD40. I gotta start collecting more of the Jeeps. I gotta find some Jeep 40s and Jeep 38s. Still waiting on a company to do a Jeep 9 and O&R. That'd be great. But I feel like I'll be waiting forever. That's probably why I don't run as much Ontario Northland anymore, because most of the stuff that they have, it's very hard to find. Or you have to get like a Proto 2000 and then cut the weight out of it and modify it just to add DCC and sound. Ronald says his 6644 is in the mail. Nice. Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully there's no issues. That's everybody's fear, you know? Especially nowadays. I find that a lot of companies, their quality control is not what it used to be. Okay, I'm pretty sure these are all good as well. Okay, yeah, I think I did them all. So, besides the flex track, because I do have some flex track and I put it all up here. That's where it goes out of the way so that it's not all over the place, right? So, yeah, I've got a bunch of flex track that I put up there that are already soldered together. Some of it's in like a half moon kind of shape, right? Like, because I had a lot of curvy sections on the layout there, and I wanted to save as much of it as I could. That way I can just pop it back in here once I get the new the landforms, you know, the cookie cutter stuff together. And yeah, so I'm excited. Gonna get that all done. I'm gonna try to get some of it done tomorrow, and then as long as I can get the main line going, I think I'll be okay. And then that way I can go back to running some trains, doing some testing. But now that I'm thinking of adding a bridge to the main line, there's a bit more work involved there, of course. You can't just openly have your train running across it if you have to keep taking the bridge out to, do scenery and whatnot. So we'll see what I have to come up with for that. Well, what are you going to do? Maybe you'll have to come down to my house, operate some trains. I was disappointed that Athearn announced that there was no special packaging for the military units. Oh, really? I know that they have the 5 set, but that they're not doing anything for that. That's disappointing. That's the first I heard of that. Yeah, the weather, even like out here, I'm in Ottawa, our weather is never really great. We've already, we've been getting blasted for the last couple of days with snow. So I'm really looking forward to just staying in my basement. If I'm not working, I'm working on the layout. And now I'll be doing kits starting in the new year, which is great because it feels like it's been forever since I've worked on a kit. So I'm really excited for that. When I do my live builds, I will have it so that people can join. I really enjoy talking with people and having conversations while we're building stuff. People get to share what they're working on and whatnot, and some of the things that they've picked up over the years, skills and whatnot. So that'll be fun. Also, I'll make sure to have some special guests as well, which know a few guys that are really good at making kits and building and whatnot. So I'm going to make sure that they share their knowledge and expertise, and if they have any tips and whatnot, then that'll be great. It'll make for a great show. When I do my lives, or the kit builds, I should say, they used to run for at least 2 hours. I would do it was like a 10 to 12. So that's probably what I'll do. It'll probably be about a 7 to 9. And it'll just be, not really organized. It's just working on kits and having fun doing it. So we'll see what happens. But that's the plan. I really thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. And it is Third Rail Thursday. So next week we'll be over on Mark's channel. I hope that he was able to get foam down, because he's at that point on his layout right now where you're adding the foam, and then you can start adding cork road bed and whatnot. Maybe he's come up with a track plan. I'm not sure. I'll let him talk about all that stuff. But it's fun to get excited when someone's doing all that stuff. That's like my favorite. That's some of my favorite stuff. Not as much as building kits, but it's all fun. The O&R version of the Every Child Matters, I know where to get the decals for it, but finding the right locomotive as well, because it's a Jeep 38, but I'm pretty sure it's like an ex Norfolk Southern unit, I want to say, or it's an XCP. I can't remember. I'd have to get another look at it. It's been a while. But I want to get one of those and do the Every Child Matters O&R version. That'd be cool. Hurry up and get that main line going. I'm looking for a third layout to put online. I had it going. You just joined us. I'll show you. So I had the main line going, but then I hated it. So number one rule is that if you don't love it, then just redo it. And I'm redoing this section here. Once it pops up, you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I'm redoing this entire section, and the track's already up. Most of the land is up, but for a good reason. I want it to be better. I want it to be all one level, as opposed to it going up and down a grade. Some things work well on grades, some things don't. I want to use everything, so I'm just going to keep it all to one grade. I want to add a bridge because I didn't have a bridge before, and every layout needs a bridge. And then, of course, a station where I can park a lot of my passenger stuff when I'm not using it, and then pull it out as need be. So that's another thing. And more buildings and stuff where I can put, what would you call it? You know, industries. There we go. Buildings for industries. So that's the plan there. Again, it shouldn't take me too long to turn this thing around, but what I do is, you know, I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna get the main line going around this thing, build the walls for the backdrops, make sure they're all connected, and then just start placing everything as to where I feel like it should go, and it'll all just kind of come together, I guess, at that point. Right? And I saved all the wood from there as well, so I'm not really not short on anything, so that's good. I don't really have to spend too much just to make those corrections, you know. So it'll be good. It'll be good. Other than that, I talked to OVR about, because I wanted to order one and they said no. Track plan. We don't need no stinking track plan. Nope. Be right back. I gotta get some gasoline. I'll be gone by the time you get back. But, yeah. Have a good night. I know James, but I talked to Dan at PWRS, and it's in their catalog. Yeah, so the thing with those licensed locomotives is that, are they really licensed? Probably not. It's just like the Athearn with the Poppy unit, the Via Rail Remembrance Day P42. They said, yeah, let's do this. And they didn't get permission. And I'm pretty sure if they put that out, they would have been, you know, charged, you know, pretty hefty fine. So the same thing with the orange unit. If they do that and it's not fully licensed, they could be in trouble. Kato is another one that is doing that locomotive. I'm not sure if they're, but they're doing it in N scale. They say it's licensed, but I don't really know if it is or not. Some of them might be just saying that. I don't know. It's the things that they don't tell you, right? That's the thing that worries me, right? They'll only tell you what you need to know on a need-to-know basis. But either way, we'll see you guys next week over on Mark's channel. Don't forget, every Monday, James and Mike are off the rails on Monday nights at 7 o'clock. And we'll, I guess, have a Merry Christmas to you and your family. Absolutely. Because Christmas is two weeks away. What's today? The something? Yeah, Christmas is 2 weeks away. So, to everybody, have a Merry Christmas. Be safe. Have a Happy New Year as well. We'll see you on the other side. And get ready for more lives, more videos, and more kits, right? You guys have yourselves a great night.